So what was the decision to start producing music from your house?
Well, I've always been like inspired by like electronic music and the idea of one person producing music from their computer, like how one mind can basically just create like a single song or like a whole album like from their basement, and like that seems like an incredibly appealing thing to me because I've always been in like electronic music and computers, and the fact that you can combine them all to basically just create what I love to do is just a really appealing thing to me.
And like certainly this would not be possible 20 years ago, even probably 10 years ago, to record a whole album off of your desktop. So what ways like has the advancement of technology like helped aided you like with you guys to start up your own music career?
Do you want to take this one or?
Alright. Well, these days there are things called DAWs, and basically that's a digital audio work, like, space work, I don't know. But they're called DAWs, and the one we use is FL Studio, Fruity Loop some people call it. There's also Ableton Live, and DAWs like this have made it possible to make music in one single software program. So people use the internet and they go on and they torrent it and not pay for it, but if you want to pay for it, some of them range from like $350 to maybe like $800 depending on what one you're getting. And each one has VSTs you can buy, which are virtual synthesizers, and those range from like $80 to like $200. So you can pay for it or you can go online and download it, but then you don't have the rights to your music.
It's still though like less expensive than going into an actual studio and producing like an album or a couple songs. This seems like nothing.
That's definitely
compared
the
to
case.
that. And do you think that's harming the music industry? Because there's studios that are closing down everywhere. It seems like in London shut down 3 like this past year.
Well, it really depends on what way you want to look at it. For the actual sense of music as a whole, I think it's a good thing because it allows the artists to develop as themselves and like promote themselves as opposed to being influenced by like how sales need to be made, like, and that's how like big name studios like Sony, for example, will tell their artists like this song's good but it needs to appeal to a broader audience, which is like the term that studios try to use in order to like have mainstream appeal. And like a freelance artist or an artist who like runs their own label, for example, has the ability to like choose the direction of their music, choose how they promote it, choose what they want to do with it, and like that's just I think it's a good thing for the music industry in that sense.
The control aspect of it, yeah.
Also, it started a lot of independent labels, people starting their own labels, able to master music for people, because you can make music at your house, but you're never going to get it sounding like all the people who are still having professional people work on their tracks and master them and EQ them professionally. It just has a bigger sound, it's more clean. It's very difficult to get that sound from at your house. So now there's all these independent labels that are charging a very low price to master your songs, and of course it's cutting off all the money that the record labels are going to make because people aren't going to the studios anymore. They're sending through email their tracks to an independent record label and getting them mastered there.
Yeah, with the help of the internet, it's definitely changed the way the music industry runs now, and it seems everyone is able to make their own like song and make their own album, but like is it that simple?
Well, the simplicity aspect is definitely not there. Like anyone can go out, download a bunch of software and begin to make music, but that's not necessarily means that it would be good music, and it takes a lot of time and effort in order to get to that point where like you're satisfied and you can say I can make a commercial release at that time.
Like there is some skill still involved, right?
Yeah.
When you do this.
Yeah, definitely. Because like basically like anyone can just like make a bunch of melodies, put a bunch of like drum patterns together and make like a song, but like you have to mix it, you have to choose your sounds that are good, you have to make sure your songs, like your melodies and instruments are in key with each other, they're mixed well, they don't clash like sonically together and like the sonic spectrum. Like you have to like take in all these like minute details that are like of utmost importance in like creating music.
You could really just say it's like any hobby. Anyone can do it if you take money and you spend it on it, get the things you need to do it, but if you want to be really great at it, you have to devote yourself and do a lot of practice and just spend a lot of time on it overall. It's not really an easy thing, but if you dedicate yourself to it, you can do it.
All right, I think that's good. That's all we have. I think that was a good take. How's it going? I don't know, which one do you think was better?
That's honestly